Welcome to Cryptopia Cast. This is Loudy, your host, and this is season one where we interview team members so that way you can get to know them more on a personal level. Tonight we will be interviewing Matt Sloan, so stick around and I hope you guys enjoy the show. Tonight's guest is a special one. So we have here one of Cryptopia's star developers. He has been working with Unity for 9 years and is working full time for Cryptopia. Matt Sloan, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks, Roderick. Glad to be here.
Absolutely, thank you very much. I know that you're very busy coding the game right now, and it's an absolute pleasure for you to be on our show tonight. So let's get the show on the road. Who is Matt Sloan and what do you do for Cryptopia?
Well, I'm a simple guy. I like to build things. I like to make things. I've been in the crypto space since 2009. I used to do the faucets. I don't know if anyone's familiar with Bitcoin faucets, but they used to give you free Bitcoin for looking at ads. And in the beginning, in the past, like that was like, it was like, whatever, okay. I lost a lot of Bitcoin from that because I didn't take it seriously, as I'm sure many of us have. And now in the future, I just kind of wanted to bring that back because crypto right now is very prevalent and everyone does actually pay attention to it now. So, I started coding because and developing video games because I wanted to be able to bring that back and put it into video games where you could play to earn. So, finding Cryptopia and being able to do what I've already wanted to do. I find that to be amazing. And so, what I do in Cryptopia is I make the game. So I'm a lead lead designer for it. And, basically what you're seeing, what I do is like make the front end visuals, the graphics. I do a little bit of the light coding on the background, but that's light coding. Frank is the one that mainly does all the heavy lifting over there, So it's like he builds the lever and then I use the lever. If that makes sense.
Nice analogy there. So, so it's a great story that you building off of nostalgia, you wanting to make sure that you bring the games that you played in the past into the future now with the NFT space and all that. So, with regards to that, if you were not a coder, if you're not into developing games or what have you, what would you have been? Or what are you right now?
Well, I don't think I would be anything else, honestly, because in my free time, I used to teach skiing and snowboarding.
Oh, good.
So that literally, like, during those summers, I would just go to the gym and work out and read books. Like I loved reading books about physics and energy.
Wow.
So I don't know, like solving world problems kind of deal, like batteries, I wanted to solve batteries. I don't know. It was just interesting to me. So but then as a young, I think I was like 20 years old and I just got done shredding Oregon and I came home and I was like, yo man, I really want to be able to make apps and provide value for people so that they have fun and then get paid for it. And then I'm like, that's been a long journey because I'm 31 now. I'll tell you that much. I didn't expect to be here where I am now, but you find a path of where you want to go, and then you go, whether you got the resistance or not, because we're not just water. And so like I said, I would still be doing what I'm doing now because I still teach skiing and snowboarding here and there. I still have my certification for that. And that is the thing I do when I'm not coding or programming, So it's like I have other things that I do besides that. And I love the shredding and I love teaching. So I guess that's also why I chose to make games where it's play to earn, because then that's also teaching people about cryptocurrencies and blockchain technology. So it's not just strictly some of them out there, like let's say like other NFT projects are just buy my stuff and we'll give you stuff, or it's like you have other crypto games where it's just like, oh, high low, bet high, bet low. It's like some gambling thing, and it's like you're not
Yeah,
really learning anything at all. But it's
absolutely.
like, yeah, it's like the games that I like to make and the things that I like to do kind of want to, it's like to teach people how to be a part of the community, and rather just than just simply just where you can profit from and earn. Like even now too, I'm heading back to Thailand, so this is my Cali home.
There you go.
But I'm heading back to Thailand at the end of the month. And before I do that, I have a Bitcoin seminar, or a cryptocurrency seminar with a bunch of older, and it was started with like 15 women, and then now they're bringing their husbands, and we're all going to sit down and learn about blockchain technology as a whole, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, whatever questions they want to bring me and ask, I'm here to help them, and, they get to learn. And to me, I mean, that's actually a really good feeling, because in the beginning, people were like, okay, Matt, have fun with your crypto. We're done now. Let's get back to reality. And now it's like, wait, we've been missing the wave and the ride. Like, yo, Matt, come teach us now. Come help us now. And I'm like, sure, guys. I'm not the crazy one.
I'm not the Yeah,
So,
yeah.
I mean, I like it now. I enjoy it. I revel in it. So it is what it is.
Yeah, being able to do what you do, what you love, and still make a living out of it, it's amazing. It's not you're not working anymore at that point. You're just enjoying life, and that's something
Exactly.
that's rare. So I'm really happy for you, man. So you mentioned a few games that you've developed in the past, right? So can you go ahead,
Yes.
mention some of those games?
Yeah, so like one of the first games I've ever actually like officially published
Yeah.
was, it's called One True Coin, and it's on the Google Play Store, and it's a
Okay.
fighting game. Yeah.
One true
Yeah.
coin.
One True Coin.
One
Now,
true
it's
coin.
not like it's fully finished or fully like you'll see the logo had a bunch of emojis on there,
Yeah.
and it'll have like, yeah, that's it.
Oh, let's
Yeah,
go
that's
and
it.
install this.
So like I was okay, so basically I had to figure out the best way to have your mobile control. So I didn't even get to putting in the crypto part in there, because I was still playing around with the mobile controls. And let me tell you, making a fighting game is not easy. Like, it's not. Like, that's a full-fledged game, don't get me wrong, and it works. But I mean, it's not finished, okay? So don't judge me on it. it's there's a I took this on as a project of, yeah, I love fighting games, let's go, and it just, as soon as you get something done, there's just something else and something else, and I did this as a solo developer.
Wow.
So I mean, I designed and developed the game all myself, and it got really really overwhelming, and I had to move on to other projects. And I mean, it is what it is. But like the whole point of where it's published at is, I was testing out. I had beta testers testing out the different controls. So each player has a different set of controls, and I wanted to know which was the best play style for mobile controls, because that's a big issue. Is playing on mobile games, you can't really feel the controllers.
No,
So you
no.
have to be able to have like a system where you could do hardcore good techniques and fighting moves, so that way it's not boring, but you can't lose yourself in the buttons. And I wanted a little bit of like some button smash, but a little bit of technique at the same time, so that way like young and old could still play it and have fun. Kind of like how Guilty Gear has their, like, you can do one button ultimate combo instant death move, but at the same time you could still use a button combination to still unleash the same move to
Yeah.
increase the difficulty, so that you're able to have more fun playing it. So that was like a little bit of my inspiration, but obviously like Tekken and Street Fighter all the way. Like, those are like my two diehard favorite fighting games
Absolutely. You
that,
still play them? You still play them?
hey dude, if you want to get down on some Tekken,
Yeah.
I'll be down. I'll be down. I'll
I
all
don't
day,
play.
every day.
I don't play Tekken that much, but I do play Street Fighter. Street
Oh,
Fighter.
everybody shows Street Fighter. I'll get schooled in Street Fighter. I won't lie there.
All
But
right.
Tekken, oh man, me and Kazi are like this, man. We're brothers. We're blood brothers. So, but then yeah, so that was like one of my first official launched games. That's like, as you can see, it's still out now. Not all that great, but it's not bad either. Yeah, no, and then so my second release game was for the Oculus Quest 1, and it's called it's a ridiculous name, but it's a Arms Beta. And ARMS stands for a ridiculous name that I completely forgot right now that I don't even want to mention.
All right,
But
cool.
basically, what it did though was that I was testing out different ways in VR, because it was a VR game where you got to earn cryptocurrencies. And and it was for Stellar Lumen, because Stellar Lumen had the cheapest fees for handling transactions, and I knew that Ethereum, and that's like one of the things that I stepped away from NFTs and NFT making and Ethereum in general, because I was like, who's trying to pay gas fees right now to do any type of transactions? So it kind of like confused me on like why anyone would ever want this. And keep in mind, this is back in 2016, so this isn't like it was recent. This was a long time ago. So actually no, I do have a zombie game that I did, but I never released it because of again, like I have tons of games that I did not release for various reasons. But I mean, Arms Beta I did release on Oculus Quest, but yeah, like I said, I stepped away from Ethereum because of gas fees and gas wars. And I didn't think that it'd make sense to handle and nobody wants to pay, well, back in the day, $2, $3, even $5 to trade $100. It's like, why would anybody want that? Now gas fees are $100. Still happening, beyond me. But yeah, so it was on Stellar Lumen, and basically what I was testing out is, so for your hands in VR, instead of actually like pulling things out to try and find things, you remember Final Fantasy 15, Nox, when he wants to use his guns or swords or anything, he just like boom right in his hand, like they just appear in his hand.
Oh
So
yeah,
exactly.
Okay.
So what I had is that whatever button that you press, the weapon would appear in your hand, and then you hold that button and you could do things. And then when you're close to like something to grab or interact with, if you press the grab button, the weapon wouldn't show up in your hand. You get to interact with like the doorknob, the ladder to climb on, the button to press. Well, buttons you could just kind of just hit it with your hand because there's physics based. But then that was the thing. So like you had a menu that came up and you could swap different weapons for different buttons in your hands. And then that's how you get to control your weapons and stuff. And I was working on that, and that's what ARMS, that was the whole point of ARMS, because you had your different armament, your weapons, but then they had different buttons to press them, and then you fight all the enemies. And I mean, it was working really well for a while, but then I kind of just like I was doing too much in like design and development to want to be able to publish it as a full game, because I was still testing out the mechanics and controls. And I noticed that nobody was ever doing this as well, because I do like to do things that nobody else is doing.
Yeah.
Hence why Cryptopia is amazing, because it's doing something that nobody else is doing, putting a full game on the blockchain. But yeah, I was like, nobody else is doing stuff where like you have your hands available, because you could still interact with your hands, but at the same time pull up a weapon really, really fast. And that was the whole thing, is like, I don't want to be able to drop my weapon and then be like, dang, where's my weapon? Oh man, I dropped it. I'm fighting a boss. Oh man, he's in my face. I want to be able to run around, move, climb on the wall, jump off, sword, bam! Like you're just like in the action. Hold on, let me end this call real quick.
Sure, no problem.
So that was like something that I really wanted, and so I was doing too much in development and design, and it was taking really long, and I just kind of and I forget to market. Like marketing is a big deal, and so for everyone else, it kind of just lost traction. And I was like, you know what? Maybe I should make another game that like I can still keep in the public's eye, and it'll take me a lot sooner to build out. So then I made Bring the Heat, which is for also the Oculus Quest. and it's a basketball game, and it's an arcade style basketball game. So for that one, what I did is that you have the ball spawning at the two different court side, and then you're in the city, and basketball hoops spawn around the city. Oh. Now, there is a shooting mechanic in there that if you aim at the court and you give just enough arc and force, the ball will go swishing into the hoop every time.
Nice.
Every single time. So, like, you could be a pro basketball player without being a pro basketball player. You know, you get that feel of just like, whoosh,
yeah, watching the ball go through the net like that, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
And then you got your scores and your points and all that. And then I was supposed to put cryptocurrencies in that, but then I didn't finish in putting cryptocurrencies in that. But I mean, hey, it's a fully published game on the Oculus Quest. Actually, it's on SideQuest VR. So if you go to SideQuest VR and you got an Oculus Quest 1 or 2, then you could download Bring the Heat and go ahead and play that. And then after that, I did a lot of time with developing on ARMS beta. Never published any of the work that I did, just kept working on it, testing different features, trying to make everything as smooth as possible, and just working on gameplay. And NFTs, somebody hit me up and was like, "Hey, Matt, you ever hear about these NFTs?" And I was like, "Yeah, but those are lame." And they were like, "Nah, bro. Nah. You never seen like a Bored Ape Yacht Club or the Crypto Kitties or Cyberpunks?"
Is that the actual way they would explain it to you in that accent?
Or no, not really. But I mean, it's like the late, because it's like if I asked them any questions about it, it was just like, "I don't know, bro. I just heard about it," and I'm just sitting there like, "Okay, and you bought some?" He's like, "Yeah, I bought myself a Cyberpunk when they first came out." I'm like, "Okay," and he's like, "Yeah, it's worth $189,000 now."
You just and what year was this?
2018.
2018.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I was just like, all right, tell me more. So I started doing a little bit of research on it, but I was still developing on my own thing. So I was like, this is a bubble, it'll pop later on. So I just kind of just ignored it for a while because I didn't think it was anything serious. Yeah. All of a sudden, it's like, now it's worth $700,000. And I'm like, okay, I've been sleeping on this too hard. This is like 2021 now, 3 years later. And I'm like, oh my God. I've been sleeping too hard right now.
Yeah.
And I mean, and that's like time flies when you're just like, you're not like thinking about certain things because like you don't think that, the future is going to go in this direction.
True.
Blockchain technology, good, things that come about it, maybe not all that good, and I get it. Like, some people, they feel like they missed the wave or anything like that. And whatever that may be and however they may feel. But I feel that even when you think you've missed the wave, you probably still haven't missed the wave. Because there's a lot more other people that's like, I've never even heard of what you're talking about. So it's like, if they've never heard of it, there's still a wave to be caught. And so then I was like, okay, if NFTs are a thing, like back in October of 2021, I started developing Galaget.
There you go.
And so Galaget is the first game as a non-fungible token, or what I like to call, and my brother, a GA-NFT. Yeah, so it's a full game inside of an NFT.
Oh, that's the first time I've ever heard about that. Most of the time, when I hear about NFTs, it's like a monkey in a picture, right?
Exactly.
It's pixel art, right? But
exactly,
a game that is an NFT.
Yes, so like barely they've been getting into the 3D art of it. So you see like a bait or hate beast or whatever, and the meta, is it metahumans or Kira or all those other ones? There's so many. You can't.
Yeah,
I can't even remember. All I know really is like CyberCons, and that's because you can get bananas. And banana is like, one banana is like $20, and they give you 10 bananas a day. I'm like, so you get $200 a day by owning a CyberCon? Oh, well, that's all I needed to hear. So
Yeah.
Yeah, so I thought like, okay, let's step away from just regular 2D digital art and let's try to make something completely new. Now, having a video on there is cool and all, but after somebody watches the video, what else are they gonna get from it? You know, it's like, oh, that was fun. You got to make more content. You have to keep
Yeah, yeah,
producing
yeah.
more and more. So I was like, if you could put a video on this, you could put a video game on this. And
Wow.
that's when I said, okay, we're gonna make a full game as an NFT, and so that's what Galaget is.
Gee.
And that is actually the most recent project that I made right now. So it's spelled out Galaget,
Mhm.
and you can find it on OpenSea, and you can play the game for free. The screen, I'd only advise using it on laptops or desktops. Mobile phones, even if it does play, it's not really gonna work. And that's because like I do have mobile controls on there, but I really was like, yo, this is already like way above what anyone else is doing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Um, and I'm making the game myself, so I was like, I'm already at a playable level with the game, and we're already ahead of the curve. So let people play this, enjoy this, and let's see where this goes.
Absolutely.
And that's actually when I got brought on, because I've also been working with a bar that does NFTs, but I'm the one
Hmm.
that made their website and made their
Nice.
NFTs, and have been, but between those two projects, as soon as I was at there, Cryptopia found me, and
Oh.
I started working with Cryptopia.
So that's how the story goes. So can you dive deeper into that? How did Cryptopia find you, or vice versa?
Well, so I have my Discord community that I've started up
Oh, nice.
for Galaget, and like everybody's always giving me stuff, and they're telling me about stuff, and like, one person was like, "Yo, you got to talk to my friend," they're over there in Thailand and they need some help, and I was just like, "All
Mm.
right, for sure, shoot me over their contacts." So then like it was like a recruiting lady, she hit me up, and we were talking back and forth, and then I just went through and showed them all my work, and then I get a call back saying, "Hey, we want to come talk to you." And so I mean, it was funny too. This is the funniest story because like I made an appointment with Frank,
Hmm.
and then like somebody had sent me like a thing and says, "Hey, we're changing your schedule time," and I'm like thinking in my head, I only had one scheduled time, and then he's all waiting like, "Hey, I'm still waiting for you," and I'm like, "Wait, I thought I was." It was the weirdest thing, dude. I was like, "Who is messing with me right now?" It was so funny because I was just like, "Dang, I almost missed. I was this close to missing out on being like part of this amazing community and amazing team." But like, he was like, "No, it's okay. Let's go through it again." And then like, played a phone tag for a little while, and then eventually got through and connected. I showed him Galaget. He was like, "This is the most amazing thing I've ever seen." He showed me Cryptopia, and I was like, "No, no, 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 no. This is the most amazing thing I've ever seen." And he's like, "All right, great minds think alike. Let's get together." And I mean, it's been history from there. You know, the Discord will say it all.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's an amazing story. So, you as a developer, how do you think Cryptopia will affect the NFT market right now in 2022?
I have like a lot of history inside the space,
Mm-hmm.
and as you can see, like I make a lot of new things too, and you can't just build it and they will come. You
Yeah.
gotta really the people really have to see it, and so if the numbers of the users reflect the community, like, so let's say like, more than 50% of each nation is on Cryptopia, or like not even that much, because that's a lot. More than 20% of the people around the world
Yeah.
and each nation play Cryptopia, then it'll be something extremely huge, because there's so many things that you could do inside of Cryptopia
Yeah.
because it's all on the blockchain, that it will give people a lot of financial freedoms that they didn't know existed. But I mean, these things already exist in the DeFi space already.
Yeah.
But if you bring it to them in a game and gamify it for them, they see things in a whole new light. Like I've seen kids play, Grand Theft Auto and Roblox, and they're like, "Yeah, this is my business that I got here, and I'm making all these Robux and dollars and GTA dollars." And it's like you bring that same type of player over to a game like Cryptopia, and now he's making or she is making real money, but it's a cryptocurrency in the world, and that's the kind of like the beauty that Cryptopia offers, being inside of the DeFi space and being gamified as it is. There's a lot of opportunities for people that they just didn't know existed. So, but the point is that there has to be the numbers behind it, and we no longer live in the time where if you build it, they will come. So it does take all the marketing efforts and all they need to see it, they need to touch it, they need to feel it. But I mean, I'll tell you right now, there's no other games that touch that even get close to what Cryptopia is doing for the community. I mean, most of the games are held on a server, and I mean, server or blockchain, servers can be shut down.
Yeah,
servers need to be maintained. Servers you need something there.
Yeah, I've experienced that.
Mm-hmm. The blockchain is already being handled by peers, by individuals, separate individuals. And that's not going to stop anytime soon unless for some reason everyone calls each other up, even though they don't know each other's numbers, and say, "Y'all want to stop making money? Stop mining? I'll stop mining if you stop mining." Yeah, okay, bro.
No, that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen.
Not going to happen. So
True.
that's the beauty of it. And it's like, that's the reason why it's like, okay, this isn't going to be stopped anytime soon. All you need is adoption on top of it. And yeah, it may take time for that to happen.
Yeah.
But the disruption inside of the community will be, huge. And then like for other people to try to keep up with what we're doing, they're not going to be able to handle it. You need the right because one of the things too you got to remember is that once it's launched on the mainnet, it's launched on the mainnet. There is no like
there's no
backseas. No, it's up there. It's good. We're done. Like, and not like say we're done, but I mean like it's on.
Yeah,
like it's turned on. Like so, everything's got to be right. Everything's got to be perfect. And I really do think that like there's going to be a huge disruption in the way that people want to work and people want to go ahead and do things inside of the meta world, because that'll actually be like, people throw the term metaverse or meta world out like it's the newest thing, but they're not really understanding what that really means. And like Meta, aka Facebook, coined themselves as Meta, and they're like, well, if you put on a VR headset, you're in the meta world. But it's like, sure, man, for sure. But really, it's like being inside of Cryptopia would truly actually be inside the metaverse, because your game exists on the blockchain and is persistent throughout other people's experience.
Yeah.
And it's not like, you go on Horizons or something and it's like, day is the same, everything's the same, nothing actually changes. Yeah, this person was playing cards before you got here, but it's like nothing is truly changing and nothing is being recorded. Whereas in here, like when something happens, like somebody moves to one tile to another tile inside of Cryptopia, that's being recorded. A mini game is won or lost, that's being recorded. A pirate came and got your assets, and now there's a bounty on that person's head. Those are recorded transactions, whether you're there or not. And you could jump in, and things are going to be different every time you play. So that's a true metaverse, where it's like as close as it gets to real life, but your second life. And not like the game Second Life.
And on top of that, you get to earn while playing the game of Cryptopia. Exactly. Definitely.
Which is that's what I'm saying. Like, it's going to change the game of how people want to work.
Yeah.
Because now you're just like, I could go to my job or I could be playing this game.
so people will be like, hey, what do you do for a living? So I go I go looting ships in Cryptopia. I do pirating in real life.
Well, if you're eco, you're like, I raise chickens at my chicken farm for my computer at home.
Yeah, don't let John Smith hear you, or else.
Or
Absolutely.
wait a second, no. If you're an industrialist, you're like, oh, I'm a coal miner, and I provide electricity for Cryptopia. Like that's my whole thing. I mean, there's so many different things that you could focus on because that's also another thing. Like when people and I could give this away as a strategy is like be
Well,
very clear about what you want to be in Cryptopia. Don't make decisions off of whims and want to change your decision because once you're making a commit, and yeah, you could always start up a new account, start a new thing. Like that's not an issue, but it's just that when you're developing your player, be very niched in there.
yeah,
Focus on
optimize.
it. Yeah, optimize the time that you're spending on there because if you are, paying gas transactions to successfully go forward into the game, make them count.
Make them
You
count.
know, yeah, like because then that's where you're going to get the most return on your investment. And
Absolutely.
like shoot, there's nothing wrong with being a chicken farmer as an eco. I mean, shoot, chickens make a lot of money. I just ate eggs this morning. I
There
love
you
chicken.
go.
Like, there's
Yeah,
nothing wrong with that.
everybody loves
So,
chicken.
exactly. So, there's nothing wrong with being a chicken farmer. So, that's all I'm saying. And I'm pretty sure those traditionalists feeding all those people, I mean, they're going to need some chickens.
They're
You
gonna
know,
need some chickens.
they're going to
Absolutely.
need chickens.
Yeah, so yeah, it's been a great time with you, Matt. I'm just gonna go ahead and leave this as our last question. What can society as a whole learn from the concepts of Cryptopia?
DeFi. Yeah. Decentralized financing. That's what you can learn from Cryptopia. Money isn't as it really seems. And that's where Cryptopia steps in, and it's really going to teach you that there's more than one ways to just earn a living. You could literally put together a team and start up, buy land together and have something shared amongst each other where this person focuses on this part of the farm, this person focuses on this. And I go back to eco farming because, I mean, everybody loves Farmville. I
Yeah,
mean, we got traditionalists, tech, um, the industrialists, and then we have eco. And I feel like eco is on the lead. No, traditionalists and industrialists are in the lead.
yeah,
What is what it is. But still, everyone does relate to helping the environment and wanting to be there. And, some people want to go back to the farm days and just make life very simple. So I'm just going to use them as the example because I feel like most people can relate to them.
yeah,
And it's just like, inside of a farm, not everyone can do everything themselves. You need a team to get that stuff done. And so decentralized financing is bringing people together to where you can do financial things like in an institution, but you can do it amongst each other. And I think that what Cryptopia is going to be like spearheading is just the fact that you can be able to do these things together in a way without because that's what cryptocurrency is. I could trust you without actually having to trust you. And so people, well, it's just
yeah.
trustless. I don't have to know the person on the other side of this
True.
transaction to know that what this is real because it came from their wallet, which is, let's say, a Bitcoin wallet or an Ethereum wallet. And, we know the history of where this money came from. And we
Yep.
can trace it all back to the source.
Yeah.
So I don't have to trust if this was like a real Bitcoin or a real Ethereum. And so there are things like that people don't understand, and they'll start to want and learn about that and understand it more just by playing Cryptopia. And
Absolutely.
that goes back to learning DeFi. They may not even realize that's what they're learning, but I mean, the minute you start earning some crypto inside the game, you're a part of it,
Yeah.
and you're going to be learning from it, and it's going to change your views on what money actually is because most people think like either you have to get a job
Yeah. True.
or or you have to sell something, or like I don't know, but I mean, like, it took me a long time to even realize, like, how do we get a good game mechanic to get things going? And I studied economy for a while as well, just to understand, like, how do you even get, like, the stuff like this even going around? And people understanding money better is just better for all of us in the long run,
Absolutely.
instead of just assuming the government owns it all and it just comes from nowhere and they just print out as much as they want and who cares? I just have to pay bills. It's really understanding, like, the core fundamentals of what money actually is, and then we take it away from the financial institutions that are just very centralized and bring it back to the people, which is decentralized, and that's decentralized financing, which is DeFi. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
Well, yeah, amazing stuff. Thank you very much for spending some time with us today on our podcast. So, right now, let everyone know where to hit you up. What are you up to right now? What are you doing?
Um, you're gonna have to go to the Cryptopia Discord and then go straight to the development side. And if you have any questions or you want to hit me up there, it's Sloan, Sloan. If you're in America, you see it all the time. I'm not going to tell you where, but if you know where it's at, then you could just be like, I know where I see your name everywhere. Now it all makes sense. But I'm not associated with them either. Not like it's a bad thing. I wish I was. So that'd be a lot more richer. But I mean, hey, whatever. But yeah, no, if you're in America, you do actually see my name quite often. But yeah, I'll let everyone else figure that out as a little Easter egg scavenger hunt.
There you go.
Wait, was it you who found me on social media when I said, like, oh, you could just type in Matt face and you're like, oh, I found you?
No, no, actually, no. It was one of the moderators who was able to.
Yeah, he was like, I found him, and I
I
was like,
found
yeah,
him.
those are that because I did start a gaming studio, and then so that was like back in 2018 as well. So, I mean, yeah, that's where they're like, I know exactly what this is or who this is. I was like, yep, that's me. But yeah, no, it was great being here. I had tons of fun. I am doing the next AMA. I couldn't be in the last AMA because I was busy with a wedding. But I mean, I'm here now, and like I said, I'll be back in Thailand with Frank and Hans and Div, and I think you should actually head back as well.
Oh, hopefully, yeah, definitely. But yeah, thank you very much for taking the time out of your busy schedule. You can go back to coding now. Thank you, everyone, for joining us on our podcast. I hope you enjoyed the show. See you next week for more Cryptopia Cast. Bye, everyone. Thank you very much.
Bye.
All right. Great job, man. We did it. Ah.